I have a topic.
When you have topics, I get very worried. And let me just preface, when he text messaged me earlier today, he was like, here's our segments. Yeah. However, one of them's a surprise. I want your actual reaction.
Honest opinion.
I don't like surprises.
No, she doesn't like surprises.
They infuriate me because I can't be prepared. It's very type A. I'm working on it in therapy. Courtney is working on it with me.
Courtney!
So I was like, I consent to all of your ideas. However, I don't like the surprise.
Yeah.
And so he relented and filled me in on it, which I was thankful for because then I got to at least read.
It's probably smarter because I think it'll be a more interesting conversation since you got to kind of check it out.
Yes.
But I still was right. Okay, so but before we do this, I told you we did you guys have seen it now, probably heard it and watched the video. You've seen the top.
Yay. Oh, which I also got this from
show
the
us
top.
Show us, Trish.
All right, hang on.
I love this one.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah, so it says
censorship makes me flip my shit.
And boo-boo! Where did you find that?
Ta-ta-ta.
That was the same place?
Yes.
Oh, I'm telling you, you guys think...
I mean, and I went up like huge cup sizes, too.
Dude, I want to pinch them.
I'm going to sit like this.
Do the rest of the show like
For the rest of the show, I'm gonna make them come up a little higher, though.
Here's one thing.
There we go. All right, everybody.
Once again, if you're only podcasting, you're missing a lot of good stuff. But like I said, this stuff we do is not just bits. Trisha lives this way.
I do. I do. I love, and they sent me a beer koozie, and it's got the boobs on it, and it says the breast, the breast bikini, like the best bikini, because it is the best.
Bikini.
Let's be honest.
Simply the breast. Oh my God, Trish, that's too funny. All right.
So tell us about your article, Andrew. Oh, if I go like this, it looks like I have cleavage. Oh my God. This is my new favorite shirt. Oh, it's so good.
We're going to get thrown off of YouTube.
I'm going to put them on the table. You guys, I'm telling you, boobs are so underrated.
They are.
And they just should be celebrated.
Yeah.
All shapes, all sizes, all colors. Boobs are the breast.
Even the puffers.
What's a puffer?
The puffer nipples.
Oh, the puffer nipples.
Yeah,
They look like little marshmallows.
Yeah, little marshmallow puffs.
Oh,
yeah.
I bet they're tasty.
We're going to at least throw it off of Instagram. Okay.
All right,
okay.
My shirt's good.
So here is that would cause us more of a reaction than the bikini.
I know.
Okay, so we're going to talk about something, and we are pointing this at you who have been in long-term relationships. But even if you're new relationship or in between relationships, this could help too. But I've only been in a long-term relationship
Right.
for the last 2 decades, so it's the only place my head thinks. So, yeah, both of them. So this is titled, and this is from Shape Magazine.
Yeah.
Shape Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what we want to give you ladies is a special peek into the male mind, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship. Everybody knows in a long-term relationship, you got to do different things, keep it alive, from just conversation to sex to emotions, whatever, right? It takes work.
Yes.
So this might be a little peek in for you gals. So it's called 5 Secret Male Fetishes That Are Actually Totally Common.
I don't know how common they are.
I'm going to stop right there. This might be a 2-part segment because I got a lot to say on this. Ladies, I'm going to give you a quick hint. If he's got a fetish and it doesn't hurt anyone, don't make him feel stupid for it.
Nobody would make him feel stupid.
Oh, girls do it all the time.
Why?
Oh, that's gross. They'll be like, oh, that's gross. I'd never do that with you.
Well, that's how I feel about number 1.
Oh. I was trying to think. I was like, pee? I don't want to get peed on either. Okay. That is not one of the fetishes, ladies.
That is not.
No, not gonna. But the first one blows my mind, too, because I've never been this guy. First one, Remember that this is 5 secret male fetishes that are actually totally common in Shape magazine. This is feet. Feet.
No.
Dude,
No.
you know what? I've never really had a preference either way. It's not. I've never been into feet. Like, look at you with that damn shirt. I can't even keep Trisha's attention on this.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'll put them away.
So it
Don't
says.
censor me, Andrew.
No, I'm not going to. Believe me. No way. Feet are a major erogenous zone.
Which is true.
What?
All the acupuncture with all the different pressure points in your foot. Listen, if you've ever gotten a full body massage and
Yeah.
that massage therapist hits the right spot, that's a
You
sweet
feel
spot. Absolutely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in fact, reflexology shows that certain
See?
toes are actually connected to genital pleasure.
Told you.
Wow. Okay. So that's one of the fetishes. I guess if my lady was into that, I wouldn't care. I could do feet stuff, I guess.
If your wife was like,
I'm not sure what you do
I don't know,
with it.
sucking toes, that's
No!
a thing.
I don't know. I can suck a toe.
But what if that was her fetish? Well,
Well-
this is actually men's fetishes.
It
so
is.
does that mean that, okay, so it wouldn't be that I would want my husband to suck my toes. It would be that
It's
he
him.
would
It's
want to
him.
suck
He'd
my
want to do
toes.
it to you. He want to do it to
Okay.
you.
All right.
So this is, and I think that I'm glad they hit feet first because I think it hits my point. If the wife is really grossed out about that and she's like, no, but it's a huge fetish for him. It really would be something that not only would fulfill a desire for him, but he would feel like he's doing something for you. And here's the thing, ladies, if your guy has something like that he likes, he's going to put a lot of thought, passion, care behind it. Okay?
Sure,
Let me
yes.
get there. Because isn't that kind of what we want out of a sexual relationship? Right? I mean,
Yes.
Of course, we want fun, we want all that stuff, but we want the person to care. We want the person to be thinking about us while
Right.
we're thinking about them. And you shut down something because he wants to suck on the little piggies.
No.
No, mine are at market. They are.
They're not here. Mine went wee 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 all the way home. No,
Okay.
sir.
That, like I said, that's, I guess, it's not been one for me, but I guess that's one. Next one, I think is pretty common. We all know butts and boobs.
That's my fetish. In case you guys didn't know.
And I think most guys are predominantly one or the other.
Yes, I do
Usually.
think you're either a butt guy or a
Usually.
boob guy.
Yeah. It says fetish as both a clinical term and a casual term can relate to body parts as well as objects. Well, that's interesting.
Whoa.
So anyway, it goes through that. But what does it say here? It says if you know you and your guy are into one particular area, butt or boob, enhance the experience by playing around with different positions. Will give him a good view of
Okay.
your butt or your girls. Okay.
I mean, I get that.
Would any woman really have a problem with him having a fetish with those, with butt or boob? Maybe it's what he'd want to do with them.
Maybe
that would
that
cause people
might
to
cause
flinch.
the riff.
So I think the question is, and we'll keep going, but I think the question is, as a woman, do you get over that? And for him, or do you say, I know you've signed on with me for life, but that's something you're never going to get?
Well, I think to take a page out of your book, like you said earlier, if it's not hurting anybody,
Yeah.
then experimenting is really one of the biggest joys you can have in any type of relationship.
Yeah.
Because you trust that person enough to experiment and
Yeah.
find out what works for both of you or what doesn't.
Right.
I don't think. I think if you're in a loving relationship and there is that trust there and they're saying to you, this is something I want to do
Right.
for you,
Right.
but in turn it is for me too.
Yeah.
I think that's when you say, okay, well, we'll give it a shot
Yeah.
type of thing.
And I think that I try to use personal experience stories without using personal experience stories without asking permission first.
I don't know that you
But-
ask for permission.
But I never do. But
Ask for forgiveness.
Ask for forgiveness. But I have found that on the other end, if there was something that she was interested in that I never really thought about, even if we tried it and it wasn't my favorite thing, the connection was cool.
Sure.
The connection was really cool.
That's
you know what
exactly.
I mean? That was really cool. Not that I walked away from it going, yeah, that was really a neat thing, but the connection, because it's really kind of neat, and same thing. Ladies will say that sometimes, and I hear it. He's kind of distant, or he's doing this or that. That's a place where you can really connect with something at a different. And I think what's neat and why we're talking about long-term relationships is because it's just between you two.
Right.
Like nobody else is experiencing.
Nobody else is doing that.
To me, that's kind of cool.
And it's really special.
Yeah.
And if you can continue to have that after being together long term, that's a really attainable thing if you work at it.
Yeah.
If you openly talk about things that you want to try.
Agreed.
I've been with my husband for 20 years, and there's still things I get embarrassed about talking to him about.
Me too.
And,
absolutely.
But once you get past that, you realize I would never ask anybody else this. I would never talk to anybody else, and that in itself is a connection.
I think so too. And I think some of that stuff doesn't come until that long term.
Agreed.
Because it takes a long time, even with your spouse, sometimes to trust
Agreed.
things, right? And there's things you have to grow into, and we're not just talking about sexual things now, but I think this is an area that everyone can unify on.
Agreed.
If you're a romantic couple, sex is involved. So I think it is a neat place to connect.
Yes.
I have a question I'm going to go on, but we'll do the next one. I have a question for you. The next one was lingerie is a big fetish.
I could see that.
Why do you think that's a fetish for guys?
So it's the act of lingerie. I took time out of my day to pick out something that I knew my partner would like.
Yeah.
And that I felt good in.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to buy lingerie you feel crummy in.
Yeah.
And then you show up and you're wearing this. So that thought process has dawned on the other person.
Yes.
And then it's the act of taking off the lingerie.
Yes.
Right? That's a huge, the whole peeling off the clothes but leaving on the heels type of thing.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely the draw to lingerie.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there could be other reasons too.
So you nailed 50% of it.
Okay.
And I can say this because I'm a guy, I've talked to all my guy friends and stuff like that. And so, but these are the two main reasons why lingerie is so amazing. First of all, is exactly what you said. It is that thought, and every guy, and I'm sure, I don't know how women feel, but every guy wants to be desired. We have that joke, I still got it.
Right.
Every guy wants that, especially after a long-term relationship. You hope they still have that for you.
Sure,
right?
of course.
And all those things. So when you come home or whatever, and she's got that on, you're right. You're going, oh my God, she was thinking about this today.
Exactly.
She was thinking about me. She was thinking about being together and all this stuff, which is really cool. The second half of it, and it's true actually too, but the second half of it is, guys, we can mature as much as we want, but we still are somewhere in the back brain. It's still that hunter-gatherer. It is still that, and that is not only a fun surprise, but it is a tease.
Okay.
And it is, I am super sexy for you right now, but you're not seeing everything, and it's shaped around my body.
Yep.
And it's highlighting the areas you like and all this stuff. So not only is he super feeling good and special about himself that you thought, but the second is, now there's a little mystery. Now there's a little fun. Now
that
this
makes
is
sense.
like, oh, this is different.
Right.
This is something, and I know what I like, and it's still kind of hidden, which leads to what you were talking about with the clothes and all that kind of stuff. So I can totally see why this, and I think the majority of guys would say that this one's a fetish.
I think so.
Right?
I think it can be also a female fetish with self-confidence, right?
Ooh,
I know
okay.
at least for me
Yeah.
and some of my girlfriends I've talked to, when you find a good piece of lingerie and you try it on and you feel a certain way about yourself, that carries throughout your entire day. And I'm not even talking like bedtime lingerie. I'm talking like the undies match the bra.
Right.
Nobody has seen them all day, but those two match up. They look great, and you carry yourself differently.
Huh. And which would then again feed into why guys like it so much, because now she's confident.
Exactly.
She's ready to have fun. She's in that thinking.
Yep.
Right. And it's not trying to, because I mean, especially with kids and everything like that, it is so rare that the two of you at the same time are going to be it's time for sex.
I know, exactly.
Usually one is on board and the other one's like, dude,
not today.
oh my God, you don't know what the kids did. You don't know how
Right.
my boss yelled at me.
Yep.
But, with that, they're both feeling that confidence.
Agreed.
They're both in that spot.
Yep.
Interesting.
I like
Okay, the next one is exhibition and voyeurism. That's a huge fetish. Part of the reason this fetish can be so hot is because of the adrenaline produced that we will or won't get caught. So part of what this is too is your actually body chemistry.
Oh.
You are adding an element of adrenaline, danger. So it's actually now including body chemistry.
Which
because
is crazy.
Yeah, not only do you have an effect of the sexual reaction and those chemicals going off in your body, but you also have this adrenaline rush like, what if we get caught? What if this? Some people, I think that would scare the shit out of
me,
and they wouldn't be able to get excited sexually for that because they're so afraid they're going to get caught.
Oh, I don't think it would
No?
take it that far for me.
But then some people, I don't know. I think that's part of the thrill of it, right? Is that we could get caught. We're doing something dangerous. We're doing something crazy. So I think that is why it's a huge fetish for guys. And I think, because I do have to admit, that is one for me too. It really is. And I'm trying to think, really, what is my reasoning behind that? I think for me it's the thrill of getting caught, the thrill of doing something dangerous, the thrill of doing something totally out of the norm.
Sure.
It is so drastically different.
Right.
And
I could see that.
yeah. Plus, I wouldn't mind being an exhibitionist. It's not something I think that that's ever going to happen.
See, I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum.
Okay.
I'm not so much the exhibitionist, but I would love to be a voyeur.
Oh, yeah.
So I can see one more than the other.
Yeah.
if
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because to me, that's just like watching real live porn.
Right. Exactly.
You know, that's not actually porn.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
most shit that happens in porn doesn't
It's not
actually
real
happen
anyway.
in real
Yeah,
life. So
exactly.
But I mean, it's almost like you're invading an intimate moment,
Right.
Because there are a big exhibitionists who want people
Right.
to invade their personal moment.
Yeah.
So I think knowing that permission is there
Right.
from
Right.
the exhibitionist.
Yeah.
For the voyeur, that's like sweet.
Right.
I've just been given a golden ticket to
to be able to-
watching these two get down.
Yeah. And
I
I
mean-
think too that like the voyeurism for guys too, because guys are so sight oriented. We're so sight oriented. You know, it's just whatever it is. That's what it is. And I mean, obviously we see it from ads to whatever.
Right,
Anything that points at
exactly.
guys has got to have a sexy girl on it. So
Right.
So I think too that the thought of either watching that is exciting, but I think for guys watching it with your partner, because
Yeah.
even if she's not so thrilled with that, I think it's because a guy is so thrilled with that. So it's like you and
Sure.
your partner are in it together, like partners in crime. You know?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
We're watching this together. We're
Which it
getting
is
excited.
technically a crime. In the article, it says, since neither of you want to get arrested, public places aren't exactly practical.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. It's not like England. What do they call it? Dogging.
What's
It's called
dogging?
dogging. And they, like in England, they will set it up and they'll be like, I don't know if it's legal there either, but it's big there. And they will put it out on whatever their forums are. And then, you know, that there's going to be a couple having sex in a car at this
Shut
place.
up.
And all the guys, everybody comes, whether they're voyeurs together, a couple guys, whatever, because they like to
Shut
be
up.
exhibitionists. They call it dogging.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
do we get that started in the States? Can we bring that to this side of
Well,
the
I
pond?
don't think on that side of the pond, like you end up having to like register when you're around schools if you get caught and stuff. I think our punishments are a little harsher here.
That's a very good point.
It'd be different if you got busted. It's like a misdemeanor, like whatever. It's different if now you're like
That's very
you can't
true.
live near a school.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not going to work. But yeah, no, I think that's totally for those reasons. I think the voyeurism is, and those kind of things are the added adrenaline.
Yeah.
And I think it is just because guys like watching. I mean, the majority of porn watchers are guys would love that their partner would be into something like that
Sure.
with them.
Sure.
Right. And I think that those people that get into that, like not only such like swapping, but like people having sex all together, I think that's very stimulating for a guy because you're in that environment.
Okay.
You're seeing it, you're hearing it. You're not with those people, but you're hearing it, you're seeing it, and I think it just elevates all those feelings and emotions.
That makes sense.
So that's more of why that's a fetish, I think. Is this the last one? Last one. BDSM. Full acceptance of what you like as well as an ability to discuss it with your... Oh, this is like teaching you things. Hold on. Yeah, it's saying take it slow, blah, 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 blah. So BDSM is the whole bondage, discipline,
Is it
sadomasochism, right?
Masochism,
Which is like the pain part of it.
I think.
So the bondage stuff is kind of fun. I wouldn't say this is a huge fetish of mine. Bondage stuff is cool. I don't like pain. I'm not a pain guy.
You're not a pain guy?
I'm not a pain guy. I don't mind some stuff, like if getting slapped or something. That's kind of cool.
Not in the face.
In sex, I don't mind.
Really?
No.
Andrew has this thing. Don't get anywhere near his face.
No,
if
don't.
something
Don't.
accidentally flies out of your hand and it hits his face, you should duck, run, and take cover because the man goes from 0 to 100 like that.
Bad. Oh man.
So I'm
And
surprised
you would say I'm a
to
pretty
hear you say
self-controlled
that.
person.
You
I usually
are.
don't fly off the handle and do shit like that.
But with your face, you do.
Oh, man.
I have seen it on numerous occasions, and I'd say most of those were accidents.
Yeah.
But he literally has to peel himself back off the ledge because friendships could die
Die.
over a bottle cap that might have accidentally hit him.
That did happen.
It did.
But no, in that moment, I'm not.
Nah.
No, I'm not averse to it. There's been plenty of times where I've been like, you could smack me. But
he totally asked for permission for this conversation.
But I'm not like, I wouldn't be into like the pain, like where they actually, and I know it's like an art. They bring you to this mixture of pleasure, pain, right?
Well,
pleasure,
there's
pain,
that
pleasure,
show
pain.
on Netflix, the one we were watching, where she's going to school, but she's also she's in like the basement. She is a dominatrix.
Oh yes. What was that show
Is it called Bondage?
Bondage. I think it was called Bondage. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Very interesting show.
And it's actually not what you think it is. So, say one of you out there, your significant other has that kind of fetish. Do a little research into it. It's not actually how it's portrayed. It's not one partner just beating the trash out of somebody else.
No.
It's a whole thing. It's like, in fact, the person who's in bondage has given the rules to the person. It's really wild. But yeah, I can see how that's exciting. Absolutely. Sure. And I think it's exciting to have your partner tell you, I'm giving you 100% control. I'm tied up.
Right.
You have 100% control.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. That takes a lot of trust.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
But I don't know about like pain. I don't know.
There are workshops.
To teach you how it works.
BDSM workshops for couples.
Well, I wouldn't mind like going to like a lesson.
Like a lesson where they actually teach
it.
You about it and things like that.
But if it's just like...
Ooh, she's working.
Oh,
sorry.
It's working.
It's fine. I don't know if you could see it on the camera.
Yeah, if it's just like you're tied up and there's just like a ball kick, like wham or something, I'm like, nah, dude. That's not going to be my thing. Don't be whapping on the sack. That's not quite. And we're also going to go back to the beginning of this and we're going to record a warning for children.
Oh my God, we absolutely have to. If you're in the car with your children,
we're going to give you 5 seconds, to skip this chapter.
Skip it. Yeah. And we do have chapters set up, so you can skip.
So you can
we
do
do
that.
have that.
But I want to end it on this, and I think that this is interesting because the whole point of this was long-term relationships, and I guess I'll put it this way: when you sign on with somebody and you're saying it's a lifetime commitment, and especially for monogamous couples who are saying it's me and you and that's it, right? I have a hard time, and I'm taking myself now out of my spot, but even for my wife, if she wanted to try something and I was just like, nah, that grosses me out, I don't want to do it. I don't think you could, in my opinion, you can't just leave it there. Like, I think my job would be to say, okay, I'm not interested in it, but I'm going to look into it. Like,
Right.
I'm going to check this out. And
Because it's something that the person I've committed myself to
right.
really wants.
Yes.
And it's about give and take.
It
and
is.
even if it's something that you, after researching, you're like, I just can't do it. But I did read about this.
Yes.
And it's, less extreme, or it's a
Right.
different version of it, or whatever. At least it's
Yeah.
showing your partner that
You care.
you care and
about-
you're willing
yes.
to do something.
Right.
And,
Well, 'cause I think it's the same thing, right? Like if when your partner's is like, I just so badly want to, I'd love to have a motorcycle. I don't, but I would love to have a motorcycle. The other person's scared about it. Okay, that you would talk about it,
Right.
And you would find out where can we both land on this.
Right.
Why would it be any different?
It shouldn't be
And I'm
any
just
different.
saying, and as a guy's point of view, anytime, especially along your lady makes you feel gross for wanting something. And I'm not talking about something that is outside the bounds. It's perverted or bad or whatever. It's out there, illegal, those kind of things.
Right.
Voyeurism. But when that attitude is given, that's a crusher.
Yeah.
And now that guy, I promise you ladies, that guy is saying, I can't trust her with my actual deep thoughts.
Right.
My inner things, because if now she thinks I'm gross. Now
Right.
she's just thinking I'm some perv. Well, you got to be careful throwing that back on your partner. I think.
I agree.
I think you got to be careful. And even if it is something you are not comfortable, I like what you said. Well, then let's look at it. What's something maybe I am comfortable with?
Right.
Maybe we start there.
Maybe we start there, and I find out that was great.
Yeah.
And maybe we add in a little bit more, and then eventually we might get to where my partner wanted to start in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, it's about communication.
It is huge.
And give and take. And I mean, I would be curious to see if there is an article that has 5 female fetishes,
Ooh,
to see if they are along the same lines.
I love it.
Because I'm curious, because I can see these fetishes also being for females.
Yeah,
It just,
sure.
the article wasn't written that way.
No, and you know what's interesting? I bet you will run into the same thing, which is what I'm bringing up. It probably isn't maybe something right off the bat that the guy's interested in,
Right.
so he blows it off.
Right.
Or he says, whatever. No, I'm too tired. I don't want to do it. That's just stupid. This
Right.
and that. You just did the same thing to her.
Exactly.
You just crushed her.
Yep.
You just made her realize, in this area of our life, I can't be 100% open.
Right.
I can't. Because
And
you're going to shoot me down.
You're going to shoot me down.
Right.
You already did. You proved that you
did.
would.
And you made me feel stupid for wanting something with you.
Right.
And I think that can be hard. But I think we need to look into that.
I think so
And see-
too.
see on the
I
flip
would
side.
I would be interested to see what that article would say. I'd be
too.
interested to see if that article even exists, to be honest.
Ooh, wouldn't that be a shame if it doesn't? I bet. Yeah. Oh, that'd be a segment in itself.
That would be
right?
terrible if it didn't exist.
Yeah, that's just really that would be sad. So I think we're about to go into part 2 of what has become like our relationship show.
Yes.
Yeah, and that really wasn't even planned,
No,
but
it's
it's gone that way, and we're digging this.
I
I'm
hope
learning
you're
stuff.
digging it. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're digging it.
Well,
so.
and I think too that it's fun, but I think hopefully it really can cause some discussions and
I
really
hope.
cause some things, because I think that's such an important part of a long-term romantic relationship. It's a very important part. So you mentioned something on the last segment,
I did.
and you found it.
I did.
You found it.
Which makes me very happy, because I
Yeah.
was going to be devastated if there wasn't an article
Yeah.
on female
Oh,
fetishes that
absolutely.
men have no clue about. That's what this actually
Yeah.
says. They gave us 8 sexual
8?
fetishes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I think that's a very common misconception for guys. I'll be real honest. We always think we're the freaks.
Oh, God.
And I say that term, I actually want to get rid of that term, but we always feel we're the weird ones because we want different things sexually.
Oh, man, no.
And I don't think that's the case.
Nope.
I don't think couples know how to communicate about it.
Agreed.
I think maybe that's the problem.
Well, I think it's a huge problem, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be able to communicate with your long-term partner.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, it's going to be a miserable existence for both
Oh,
of you.
man, for sure.
So,
all right, what do they got? I'm really interested. Hopefully I'm going to try to learn something here.
Yeah, Andrew hasn't seen this yet, and I just briefly ran through it. There are a couple that matched up.
Okay.
BDSM,
Okay.
the voyeurism and exhibitionist,
Interesting.
And I think those were the only two.
Okay.
Well, they have public sex on here.
Okay.
So, I mean, I
So that'd
guess
be in
that
that
kind
same
of goes
vein.
with both.
Okay. That's an interesting point right there, too. So you might be afraid to tell your partner something. They might be thinking the same damn thing, and they're afraid to tell you. Yeah.
Right?
That's interesting.
Okay, so there was one on here. I had no idea what the word was. So it's obviously not a fetish of mine. But maybe if I read into it, it might become one. So number one, which I was really actually shocked about, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Group sex with a bunch of dudes.
Are they talking about like a gangbang? Are they talking about like so they're interacting with all these people, or just?
It says how to make it happen. That's the other thing that it gave. This is from The Rooster. TheRooster.com.
Yeah.
It actually gives the fetish, explains what the fetish is.
Okay.
And then it says, make it happen.
Oh, jeez.
And it gives you some tips on how to have group sex with a bunch of dudes. So basically, it's like a threesome, foursome,
Okay.
but they're
Only
all
one girl.
men.
Okay.
Only one girl.
Okay. So are they saying she's involved in this, or is this watching?
Let's see here. It says that that it's no secret that many, up to 43% of women, are turned on by the idea of a threesome with another chick.
Okay.
However,
Wow.
the lesser talked about and much more taboo fantasy many women have is group sex with a bunch of guys.
Okay.
It said 41% of women's dream threesome is with two males.
Okay.
And women are 80% more likely to watch gangbang porn than men are, for the sheer reason that when it comes to, I don't know if I can say the word dick,
Okay.
the more the merrier.
Okay. Right.
So it tells, ask her if she's attracted to any of your male friends and whether she would consider having a threesome with you and him.
That might be a lot of conversation.
I think that's a pretty bold conversation.
I don't know if I'm ready to bring my boys in on that. Oh man. Okay.
So that's one.
Hold on. But what do you feel as a woman is the attraction to that? Is it having a bunch of attractive men around you, or is it being held, touched by all those men? What is that factor?
I mean, it's definitely not a fetish of mine, but I think it's safe to assume that if it's two men who are straight, then I'm the one getting all the attention.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Right? So I think
That makes
it would
sense.
probably be an attention thing.
Okay.
At least that's how I would look at it.
Yeah. That
Right?
makes sense. That makes sense.
If there's another woman there,
You're sharing that
I'm
attention.
sharing that attention.
Sure, of course.
Right?
Okay.
Or if one of the men happened to be gay
Yeah.
or bi, then I'd also be sharing the attention.
Right. Absolutely. Okay.
So,
okay, that makes sense.
Right?
Seems like a lot of work.
So, yeah,
Seems like a lot of work.
Again, not one of mine. Number 2 was the BDSM.
Okay.
Number 3 was public sex.
Okay.
Number 4.
Uh-oh.
When I was reading these and you walked out of the room and I went, whoo, yes, mama. This was the one I was talking about. So you guys will all just find something out about me. I'm not very quiet about it. But number 4 is watching men have sex.
You know what? This is you were the first person. We were as our group were sitting around talking. You're the first person I ever heard
Really?
admit that. Now, since you have, I've heard a lot of other women say that. That blows me away.
I don't understand that because you specifically, I guess, or just men in general, they like women on women porn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why would that be any different for women liking men on men porn?
For me, and since you've said this, I've had discussions with guy friends. We still carry the stigma around a lot that it would be a loss in
Heterosexual credibility.
masculinity.
which is
Right.
ridiculous. I know so many gay men who are just as masculine
Yeah.
as you are as a
Yeah.
straight man.
That's interesting. So a woman sees that and doesn't see it as
I don't.
okay.
I do have girlfriends who do, though,
Right.
where they think less of their masculinity because they would be making out with another man.
Okay. Right.
Which I just find utterly ridiculous because they don't lose any sense of femininity for a woman making out with a woman.
Right.
It's a total double standard.
Oh, agreed. 100%.
So I just don't get it.
100%. Wow, that's really interesting. Did that one give a percentage?
Let's see here. A small but robust population of ladies have figured out that the best way to blow a dude's mind in bed is to glean movies from gay porn.
Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
so
That makes
plus
sense.
man-on-man sex is the look at this is the pulsating pinnacle of masculinity. If you're a chick and
what?
you're aroused by, I don't know if I can say the word dicks, but I keep saying it,
Yeah.
so we might have to beep it. I don't know. Is that a word I'm not allowed?
No,
Should
you
I
can
say
use it.
penises?
No, you can use it. Absolutely, yeah.
If you're a chick and you're aroused by dicks and 100% pure grade A testosterone, watching two or men dudes sensually blank can
Right.
be the hottest thing on earth. In fact, while girl-on-girl porn is the number one most watched porn category for women, guy-on-guy is number 2.
Wow, that is interesting. What a wow. I think it shows though still the difference somewhere in there between men and women.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a
what you're
fundamental
getting from the
difference
same
there.
thing that we're getting. God. Yeah. Communication's key, man. You know what
It
I mean?
is.
'Cause
I mean,
it's-
it absolutely
we're
is.
different. We're different animals when it comes to all that stuff. I
Right.
think that's so interesting. Okay.
Now, number 5 is kind of a touchy subject.
Okay.
It's forced sex.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
rape fantasy.
Yeah. Right.
And it's a very sensitive subject
Yeah.
because rape in and of itself is a
Right. Right.
horrendous,
Yeah.
evil act.
Yeah.
But I think when it is a conversation between two consenting adults
Right. Right.
and there are measures in place, I think that could be something.
Sure.
It's more or less about giving up control.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And I think that's kind of where this comes from.
Yeah. No, I can see that. And I think, especially if you're with a trusted and loving partner, they're not going to be doing things that are actually violating you.
Agreed.
It is, like you said, it is that surrendering yourself to them.
Right.
For that control.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
So, and just because I like what it's saying is that in order to make it happen,
Right.
it has to be her plan.
I was going to say, I was coming in with the same thing, and
Yep.
I'm not even looking at the article you are, but I'm thinking,
She's in control of the action. She plans exactly what's going to happen so that it's entirely consensual. That's in bold
yeah,
print.
right.
If there's something that you want to incorporate, you have to ask her first. You can't
Yeah.
spring any unexpected
Right.
things on her. You have to have a plan how to stop, like a safe word.
Yeah.
So there are certain things about the how to make it happen that
Yeah.
actually make me happy knowing that they put that in there.
Right. Well, again, I think too that comes down to the communication part of it, and that might be something too. We didn't really cover that. We kind of covered making the other partner feel bad or dirty for a
Right.
request,
Right.
which I think is not shouldn't be done. But the other part about it is you can't spring stuff on a partner and expect them to just be okay.
Right.
And then treat them like, well, I tried.
Right.
I tried to do something
Exactly.
special. No,
No.
you can't.
You can't do that.
spring fake rape on your
No,
partner.
you absolutely
You can't do
cannot.
that.
You're
I mean-
liable to get kicked in the nutsack.
Yeah. Maced.
Maced, yeah.
Because then you're and that's the attitude. Well, I tried. Well, and I've had conversations with guys like with guys like, well, she just didn't want to do anything. Well, what happened? Well, I tried it. I'm like, dude, if you would have
can't
tried
just
that on me, I'd have killed you.
Exactly.
I'd have knocked you out.
You cannot do that.
You can't just when it gets into stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's interesting.
Number 6 is orgies.
Really?
It is also not one of my fantasies.
Isn't that funny that it wasn't one of the guys?
Right. I don't know. I mean,
you know why I think it's not a fantasy for guys when you're talking in a long-term relationship? Because I think a lot of guys fantasize about that for themselves, right? Like, these girls. But then when it comes down to sharing your girl,
yeah, that's
they're like, nah.
No.
Which why it surprises me with women.
right.
Are women a little... See, now that would blow my mind. The women I've known in my life are not ready to share their dude for
Hell no.
anything.
No.
I mean, I'm talking about little things, not sex.
Yeah, no, that's a hard no from me.
Yeah, my wife is the same way. I mean, she would.
No
Oh my
way.
God. So that's different for me to hear that women would be down with that.
Number 7
Okay.
was erotic massage.
Oh yeah.
So I totally
cool.
get that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But it
That's
is. I'm
kind
going
of-
to tell you right now, ladies. It is something you're going to have to ask for.
Yeah, that's true. Listen, we ask for regular massages and we get the,
Yeah.
am I done?
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Like 30 seconds in, I'm like, we're not having sex yet. I'm like, what the heck is it? No, I just wanted a shoulder rub. Nah. So again, ladies, you want that?
Communication.
Wonderful. Communicate. Most dudes aren't doing that on their own.
And the last one is the word I didn't know.
Oh,
It's called, I'm sure you know what it is.
Okay.
It's called cuckolding.
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 Is this the first you're hearing of this?
Yeah, I've never heard of it before.
Yeah. So for you that don't know, it is watching your partner have sex with somebody else.
Yeah, that's an absolute
Just sitting
no.
there.
No,
Sitting
no.
there.
Are you insane?
Right.
I would rip
Or-
somebody's hair out.
Or it might go the other way where they want their partner to watch them have sex with somebody else.
Again, that would be a hard pass from my husband.
I couldn't do that.
I mean, that's just.
That's not-
I mean, and in the article they talk about Erica Lust, who is. She has just started the feminist porn movement.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. If you haven't heard of her, do yourself a favor. If you like porn, look her up, especially a female. If you
Yeah.
are a female who enjoys porn, hers are, they're so authentic.
Yeah. Well, she uses like real people.
Yes.
Like these aren't porn actors.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and sometimes she uses real life couples.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's just such an incredible production. Oh,
Yeah.
she's fantastic.
Yeah.
But they mention her in here because she has done some porns on that.
Okay. Yeah. And again, so, but I think that brings us back, right? So, and let's just take that one, for instance. Both me and you in our own personal relationships were like, no. I could not sit there and watch my wife do that. Okay. So, I think, though, that's where the fear originates from. Because what if you're... All right, so I'll take it on me. Say my wife came to me and said, that's a fantasy of mine. I would want you to watch me with somebody else. Okay. That's
Are
a
you
lot
guys
of
looking at his face?
That's a lot of conversation.
He started
But-
to break out into sweat.
But if we're going to handle it properly, I can't sit here and get angry and start throwing words around like you whore or you this or you that.
No, you absolutely
You can't do that.
No.
But I think that's the problem. People are afraid if I say that, now they're going to think differently of me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that my initial reaction wouldn't be like, so what's wrong with me? Why
Right.
don't you want to have sex with me? Why
Right.
is it that you want to have sex with somebody else while I watch?
While
What
I
am
watch.
I not doing?
Right.
And so I think that just hikes up insecurities that you might already
Yeah.
be having.
Yeah.
So the conversation, at least in my household, wouldn't be, let's see how we can make this happen.
Right.
It would be, what else is going on? That is something.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm
I get
saying?
you're saying.
It would start a different
you
dialogue.
didn't mean like cheat and what else is going on. You meant like, why are we at
Why
this
are
point?
we at this
Why are you
point?
thinking
Why is this
way?
something you need?
Especially if your relationship wasn't built on that.
Right.
Some people get married and they're going to have an open marriage.
Absolutely.
They're going to swing. They're going to
Yep.
do these things, but that is what they've decided to do.
Agreed.
That's where they're going.
Yep.
A 20-year marriage where this is how we set it up, and then all of a sudden one day, you're right. What changed for you?
Right.
Would be almost the question.
Yep.
What changed for you? What made this? But then you got to really listen.
You do. And that's a
tough.
hard conversation to
Yeah.
have. I
Yeah.
can't even begin to imagine having that conversation
Right.
with my husband.
Right.
But it would be a conversation you'd have to have at that point.
Yeah. Because I think it's also stupid to think that in 20 years you haven't changed. You're not going to change.
Right, exactly.
Your mindsets, the way you look at life, the
Yep.
way you look at everything, right,
Yep.
is not going to change. And I think that those can be the real struggles with that kind of communication because
Absolutely.
one person's going, it would see it as hurtful,
Yeah.
So I think, but at the same time, is it more dangerous not to ever have the conversation?
I don't know.
And then this drags on in somebody's mind, and I don't know.
It's that one. Kudos to the people that can hear that from their partner.
Yeah.
And be accepting of it and not turn that inwards.
Yeah.
And be able to have that conversation and maybe do I'm not comfortable with that just yet, but I researched
Right.
it. Here's something like we were saying
Yeah.
earlier. But
I know. For
I don't
me,
know any couples that would
I don't
do
either.
that.
I don't either. Not with how we just set it up.
Right.
They set up a monogamous relationship.
Right.
And I think there's no way around that question. For me, that's what it would be. What has changed?
Yeah.
What has changed? That now I'm not looking down on you. I have to understand that this is a 2-person relationship, so I played a part somewhere.
Right.
Somewhere in this, I played a part.
Right.
So where are we? And I think that would. But again, being married for 20 years, communication has always ended up winning, even if they
Always.
were hard conversations.
Always.
It always ended up winning and being the better of the options.
Really, at the end of the day, I think both of the articles that we've covered really surround communication.
Yes.
At
Hands down.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it is you're bringing to the table,
Yeah.
as long as your partner is willing to receive what it is and
Right.
have that conversation. I mean, that's 90% of the battle.
It is. And I think that even if your original reaction is you're gross or get out of my face, you need to come back around.
Yes.
And talk about that. But that'd be a tough one, man.
And quickly.
And quickly. We're not going to wait 3
We're
months
not
on
going to
that
wait
one.
3 months. No, that is a conversation we're having immediately. We don't get a resting period on that
No,
one.
we do not. That is very quick. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it keeps coming back around over and over to communication is key.
Very much so.
It is. All right. If you have your own opinions, stories, we'd love to hear them.
Yes.
That'd be great. Nice.
Share away.
Share away.
We're all ears.